Annihilation, what a film. I've been thinking a lot recently about why most of my favourite movies come from the science fiction genre. Upon rewatching Annihilation, I was able to condense my answer into a single sentence. Sci-fi allows filmmakers to confront deep philosophical problems without the limits and restrictions imposed by other genres. Running parallel to the main narrative in Annihilation is a commentary on self-destruction and a deep look at what causes human beings to engage in self-sabotaging behaviours.
Ventress wants to face it. You want to fight it. But I don't think I want either of those things.
The decision to use the shimmer as the setting for the film is a masterstroke, as it functions perfectly from both the narrative and the metaphorical point of view. From the narrative perspective, an alien organism entering our planet that consumes everything in its path as it endlessly expands and refracts all DNA within it to create new life forms is a truly terrifying concept. From the metaphorical viewpoint, the shimmer serves as a perfect canvas for the journey within, a look at the monsters we face and how we have to adapt ourselves to overcome the various traumas we may experience along the way.
If I let you go, and you tied me to a chair and cut me open,
are my insides gonna move like my fingerprint?
As we are introduced to the main characters of the film, we are also introduced to the parts of them that help the audience answer the key question posed to us. Why are they choosing to enter the shimmer despite knowing the consequences? To understand their reasons, we have to look at the backgrounds of the characters. Each of them is suffering from some kind of physical or mental pathology. Ventress has cancer, a theme that is used a lot in the film, with the shimmer behaving almost tumour-like. Lena has been unfaithful to her husband, Anna is a recovering addict, and Josie has been engaging in physical self-harm. The film tackles the concept of trauma magnificently. In a dialogue between Lena and Shepard, Shepard discloses to her that she recently lost a child, proclaiming that, in a way, it's two bereavements, my beautiful girl and the person I once was. Trauma refracts everything, just like the shimmer. Shepard's DNA was altered by trauma. The grief caused her to create a new life form that was moulded by the death of her daughter. This exchange is one of many in the film that allowed me to look inward and reflect on my own personal life. Which parts of me are refracted? Is there a shimmer me and a real me? Again, another reason why I just love the sci-fi genre so much is because it allows creative freedom not only to the creator, but also the audience. Everyone that watched Annihilation was able to take a slightly different message away from it. Most artists begin creating art in the hopes that one day they will have that effect on their audience.
For those that follow, I believe that means us.
Returning to the bordering on unanswerable question of why each of the characters chose to enter the shimmer, we are provided with another moment of reflection during this beautiful exchange between Ventress and Lena. Lena is attempting to pry knowledge from Ventress in regards to why her husband made the decision to enter the shimmer. Lena asks, "Why did my husband volunteer for a suicide mission?" It's worth noting that she herself has chosen to enter and therefore must have her own reasoning for doing so. We'll revisit that later. To which Ventress replies, "As a psychologist, I think you're confusing suicide with self-destruction. Almost none of us commit suicide and almost all of us self-destruct. In some way, in some part of our lives, we drink, we smoke, we destabilise the good job, the happy marriage, but these aren't decisions, they're impulses." Lena then presses Ventress to expand, to which she responds, "You're a biologist. Isn't the self-destruction coded into us, programmed into every cell?"
You are okay. Are you?
I don't think so. Are you Lena?
This exchange really stuck with me after watching the film, because it's a concept that has gripped me for a long time. Do we choose to self-destruct, or is it just human nature? Was their decision to enter the shimmer actually made by them, or an unavoidable consequence of all the negative things each have experienced in their lives? And in our personal lives, is there something romantic to us about destroying precious things, perhaps to see if we're able to survive the fallout? Because if we do survive, what a story it would be. Are humans driven by narrative to that extent? Also, there's no way to talk about Annihilation without mentioning one of the most terrifying monsters in any movie, the Devouring Bear, a real work of genius. I'm sure most spectators were gasping, as I was, at the realisation that Shepard's screams were emanating from the monster. It was truly nightmarish. The core theme of the film could not be made any clearer than by the ending, where the creators are literally hitting us in the face with the meaning of the film. Lena's tasked with destroying a being, mirroring herself in order to escape the shimmer. There's something eerie about the figure that mirrors Lena, a blank canvas, suffocating her under its weight. Buried under the surface of this ending is the core theme of the film, that helps to explain the character's decisions throughout. Not all of us will be willing or able to confront the parts of ourselves that it is more convenient to ignore. The other main characters in the film just didn't want to see what lay ahead for them, didn't have the strength to reach the end, or couldn't decipher what it all meant and were destroyed whilst attempting to understand. Only Lena was able to see herself clear enough. Only Lena understood that she had to destroy those parts of herself to move on from her past and ultimately escape the shimmer. Not all of us will survive our pathologies. Some of us may be ruled by them forever, but you don't have to be that somebody. If you aren't afraid of looking at those parts of yourself, you can destroy them and remain intact. Be a Lena rather than a Josie who voluntarily chooses to succumb to her self-destructive tendencies. Trauma can be suffocating, all-encompassing, devouring, but these are the parts of ourselves that we can leave behind. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and drop it a like, it's greatly appreciated. Also, I'll put a link to my Substack in the description if you'd like to read the scripts for my videos or any other pieces of writing I put out. Until next time.